If you watch a lot of spiritual content online or have a favorite teacher or two that you follow, I've certainly got a lot of benefit out of following different teachers. There's an attitude and a way of being with this information and this teaching that can actually be very dangerous to your own growth and to your own realization, and especially emotional and inner work. And this is watching this content with this attitude of, I hope I'm going to get it someday. I hope it's going to click. I hope one day what they're saying is just going to kind of arise within me, and then I'm going to see the world completely differently. This is a posture you have to be very careful with. Now, this has nothing to do with what anyone's saying. I'm not speaking to the content of any particular teaching or teacher when I talk about this. I'm talking about something I've encountered very often, where I'm going to work with people and we're ready to do some actual work, actual emotional work, feeling into what we're feeling, exploring what's going on, exploring the beliefs, the thoughts, the patterns, things we do on this channel in general. And we come up against a lot of resistance, and these spiritual teachings and the way they're oriented to becomes a way of protecting from actually feeling. It becomes a way of saying, well, so-and-so says that once you get this, then you'll be free from this, right? Or so-and-so says, well, we're not the body anyway, right? And so if we're not the body, then this pain I'm feeling, right, is completely disconnected from your actual pain, the actual experience of what you're feeling. And what often happens, especially in the world of like YouTube and online teaching, you're not their student. They wouldn't know your name. If I said, hey, how is Mary doing? Or how is Joe doing? They wouldn't know who you were. So they're not necessarily speaking exactly to you and what you need to be doing and where your blocks are and where you're being held back. But you're downloading information or a model of the world, or most importantly, an ideal that you're hoping to reach. And you're not necessarily getting a lot of practical how-to advice, or you're not necessarily applying it. They might be giving you practices, but maybe you're doing it, maybe you're not. Maybe you're not getting guidance on it. Typically, we're not. And so we're in this position of worship, right? Like idealizing the teacher, hoping that one day their wisdom is going to just click and we're just going to get it. Meanwhile, it's a way of avoiding, without realizing it, doing more direct work on what's actually going on. And I'm not saying you have to do inner work to have a spiritual realization. I think there's thousands and thousands of examples of people it just spontaneously happens. So I'm not correlating saying, well, you have to be doing this hard emotional work and you shouldn't be listening to spiritual teachers. I'm talking specifically about being in that position where instead of actually confronting ourselves or doing some sort of practice or doing some sort of inner work, the way we are relating to this teaching is, I hope it's going to click. And if you're doing that, I think part of that is going to speak to you right now. You'll be able to see that there's this dynamic in place. There's not necessarily a clear practice you're following and getting feedback on and sort of examining. It's relatively abstract. You're going for these concepts like I'm not the body, or just be present, or just be awareness, or even just good practices like trying to be present, but you don't really know what that means and you're hoping it's just going to happen one day. You want there to be something that you can actually do, and it should make practical sense to you. Even if it's just something you feel in your heart, like, okay, I can hear what's being said, and that can change a behavior, it can change a way I relate to something in my actual life right now. So be on the lookout for that. Keep an eye on, am I actually getting something I can do and use, and then I'm doing it or using it in the real world. And I'm not purely looking at it as this sort of esoteric thing I'm hoping to obtain one day. So I hope that helps. I've seen it often. I've helped people through that often. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them below. Thanks.